Basra daf kuf chof dalit amid base. 7 lines at the bottom. Sagt die Gemara Amalei Avacha Barav Lehavina Avachas Barav said to Avina Ikra Ameim La'asin V'Darish. Ameim was invited to our place and he dashed. B'chein leitab al pishnayim b'milva. B'chein takes a double portion in a milva. Avalei it's not in the interest. Now what's the problem with a milva? We also learned B'negeya to what does a b'chein take double? He can even take double in something, even though right now the improvements or the price didn't go up till after the death of the person, of the father. Let's say the father was. The interest went up. So b'milva. So first, before we say milva, by regular case of let's say a tree, somebody had a tree and he bequeathed it. He gave it as a yerusha to the kids. But at that time, but when the father died, the tree didn't yet give off so much paytas. But after he died, there was so much more paytas. Das is a schwach, the von sich allein that came on its own. It wasn't a schwach that the Yisraelim put in. If it would have been a schwach that the Yisraelim put in, then the Bechayil doesn't get a double. He gets a regular chaylik, right? He doesn't get a double chaylik in what the Yisraelim put in. But if it came on its own, schwach the as memela, that he gets a double chalik. A milva, he's holding on to a star. So the father only gave him the star, but the money didn't come in yet. Right. But the money that's going to be collected is considered the asa memela. It's a shvach the asa memela because he has a star, he has a raya. He's able to collect, he can demand the money. So even though the money wasn't there in the father's hands at the time when he passed away, but the star could collect the money. So when they collect the money, it's not like they were shkia anything. The star is azevi that the improvements, the shvach is yikum from sich allein. That's what we're going to talk about. Not in the interest.
If the star was for instance $1,000, now it's for $1,500.
Oh no, we're not talking about $1,500. We're talking about the star's $1,000, but there's no $1,000. There's only a piece of paper. Okay. So we say, but later on when they collect the money, that's after the father is died already. So maybe that's not muhzik. The father wasn't holding on to the money. So we said it's considered muhzik because it's a shvach that will come later on its own. No. Sagt die Gemara, the Chachmen Adar go according to the Shita. They both say that both hold that a person is considered as a muhzik in Mamain that a person owes if they hold in a star. If the person is holding a star, so the moment that will come after the death is considered as their muhzak already from the time that they have the star. From the beginning. Rabbi said. Govu karka. Rabbi says that if they collected the karka from another person for the chayv, yesh le pishnayim. That's when he has. Then that's when the chayv has double, because karka is something like it was there from the beginning, from when they lent the money. There was a shivit on the karka. The karka didn't move. It was that the lien was on the karka. Govu mois. But if they collect the money, there is no. There's no pishnayim. Yeah, but this is not milva like sonitna. The money that he's paying, that the Lev is paying, he's paying his own money. He can't say it's the same money that was there from the beginning. It's not mozakim. When he gave out the loan, he's meant to use it.
Maybe he'll never pay.
That's not a minig. That's a minig. Yeah, minig darf nicht tun. The deal is, but I'll pay the darf borgen Geld. Und so minig abzahlen. So anyway, here he says. So why, if he paid up the chayim? Yeah. Yeah. Anyway, so he says over here, when it comes to metaltalin, listen, that's considered as roi. It's not muhsik because it's not the same money. It's not the original money. The original money was meant to be used. The money that he's returning, he doesn't have to return the original money. He returns personal money. So it's not the same. Mashenkin, the karka was always there. That's what the Rabbi holds. Rabbi Nachman Omar, he says, "Fakert govu mois yeshli, govu karka." He says, "Mois, if he collect the money, the bechay gets pishnayim." Why? Because this money is really an exchange of the original money. It's the same money. It's just an exchange. Mashenkin karka, but the karka, we say it's a whole different min from what he lent. So I'll say he's not considered as a muhsik. Abaye said back to Rabbi, the doch kasha. To you, Abaye tells the Rabbi, I have a kasha on you, your shita. I have a shvedekite, and I have a stira on what you're saying from your own words. V'chein le'Rav Nachman kasha. I have a kasha on Rav Nachman and a stira on his words. We just finished off. Rabbi says on both shitas. So let's remember what the both shitas were. You know what he's asking? L'didoch kasha. Let's start off with Rabbi. Rabbi said that if you karka, there was a shibud. It was so right when he lent the money. When he has the star now, the star has a connection to the karka. The karka is the same from the time that he lent the money till he collects it. So it's considered that if he was holding on to the karka from the beginning. We're not talking about that part now. We're saying there was a shibud the karka, and therefore he gets double, even though he collects the karka after the death of the person. So now the Gemara is going to ask, Maish not Mais. Why? What's the difference? Money, he said he's not a Muslim. He doesn't get Pishnayim. Because he wasn't a Muslim. Why wasn't he a Muslim? Mois the life, because the lav hani mois shavak haboy. This is not the money that the father left. When the father lent the money, it was different money. That money was meant to use, and the money that's being paid back is other monies. So that's why you said it's not going to be, the b'chay won't get pishnayim. The father never had this kaka. There was a shibud on the kaka, and so lavdafke he's going to pay back, get the kaka. He could pay with money. He could pay with. He could pay up the chay with money. He doesn't have to. He doesn't have to pay. Give him the kaka.
That he's collecting on a shibud.
That the father didn't collect. The father was a malva. He didn't collect the karka. Now, after the father died, so when they collect the karka, we said the b'chay gets pishnayim on that star from that karka. But that karka wasn't considered the father had it because the lady could have paid up with money. He says, "I don't want to give you karka. I can give you money." So you can't say the karka was the shiba that it was there in the father's hands. So both cases, the same idea. Just like money, you could say karka. So the b'chay shouldn't get pishnayim. That's the kasha. Why are you saying b'chay pishnayim? Ve'id ho omar mar. You Rabbi, you yourself said when they gave a story that there was a man that said that this karka is going to his mother, but when his mother dies, it should go to his daughter. He only had one daughter, his only heir. And the daughter died before the grandma goes to the daughter. Yeah, because the mother is going to live less. His mother. That's the case. You'll see. So he gives his mother karka, and he tells his mother a present. But he says, "Listen, when you pass away, it should go to my daughter. My daughter is his own daughter. Is very young. He only had Aktana, or even Agdela, but not enough to have a karka." But she passed away before the grandmother, and she got married. Because the grandmother lived a long time, she got married. The daughter, and
who died first?
The daughter, and now the daughter has a husband. The husband says, "Look, it's a tragedy, but I have to get the Yerusha." We're talking about after the grandmother died. I ain't hopping in the karka. So he said, "Yeah." So from the Bible, so he says, "Mistaba Tami the Meimadova." He says it's reasonable to say, meaning the reason of the Chachmei of Eretz Yisrael that says that the husband doesn't receive from the Yerusha because it wasn't in the wife's rishus ever, because the grandmother, the Kadim Safta, the Baba, if the would have sold the karka, it wouldn't even be there. So Zvina would have been a good sale. So don't tell me that she would the daughter was considered as a musik. She wasn't a musik at all because the grandmother could have sold it and that's it. Goodbye, Charlie, and there wouldn't be any karka. So you can't claim that the daughter was a musik. So Rav Nachman, kasha Rav Nachman. Now, what did Rav Nachman say? He said faket. He said which one was the father musik in? Rav Nachman said in the money. Why the money? Because this money that the Levi is giving is really, he's like exchanging the money that the Malva gave him. But it's the same money. I'm giving the same currency. It's just an exchange for the original money. Same dollar bill, correct. But when it comes
If
to
it's Australia, he's in more money.
no, we're talking about same currency, American currency. But now let's say I don't know if Taka the halacha would do it, but it's the same money. It's an exchange. When he says the karka is not from the min that the father, it wasn't even the min that the father lent out. He didn't lend out karka. So he says the b'chei doesn't get double. In fact, karka. Why do you say karka is not considered that the b'chei doesn't get pishnayim? Because the light that he said he doesn't take pishnayim if it's karka is collected because lava karka shabagabuin. It's not that that's not the karka that the father ever had and left for the kids. He never even had it. It's now you're collecting karka. It's a different mimichal. So the amount of mayis nami lav hani mayis. It's not this same money that the father left for the children. It's different money. Yeah, it's a different money can bichlal. So therefore it shouldn't be pishnayim for the bechei. Now when I ask you, Rav Nachman himself, Rav Nachman himself said, Yisayim that collected karka, collecting the chayv that the father owed. So comes the Baal Chayv, the Baal Chayv can come and collect from him. A Baal Chayv cannot, he can only collect from Meshubad. According to you, you're saying karka is nishkein muchzi. He doesn't even have the karka. So how could he collect after the death of the father? He didn't have the karka. The Yisayim went and collected the karka. So if the Yisayim went and collected the karka, it should be a different din. It should be, hey, it's like they bought karka after the death. You can't collect from the Yisayim in that.
Yeah, but they were only able to collect because there's a shibud for that karka.
Emes, but the karka. But you said if the karka it wasn't collected yet when the father died, it's not considered as muchzakim. So after the father died, it's a new deal. So he shouldn't be able to. The Bava shouldn't collect. And you're saying no, it's considered as muchzakim, and he's allowed to go to the Israelim on avek chap the karka. So the b'chei should get double. That's the kasha. And you said by karka, no, it's not considered as muchzi. It's a whole different min. And by money, the b'chei can b'chalnish chapel. The money, if they went and collected the money after, and that's where Rav Nachman said, no, money. They were muchzakim before the father died because it's the same min that the father left. It's just an exchange. But we say when it comes to a b'chei collecting, no, money can't. So you see, it's the reverse of what Rav Nachman said. Rabbi said back to Abaya, Loyle Didika, Rav Nachman Kasha, Abaya, Frex, aber ich sagte, Frex gar nicht. It's nicht kein Kasha if me, and the Kasha was gefragt of Nachman, the Kasha that yes, Rav Nachman is not a Kasha on him either. He says, time in the we were only arguing about the Chachmei Eretz Yisrael. They said that the Bechal gets Pishnayim. So we said, we had a machlekes, in which part would they, if they collected, would the Bechal get Pishnayim? In the karka part or in the money part? So Rabbi said it's in the karka part, and Rav Nachman said it's in the money part. But us, me, Rav Nachman, and Rabbi Leisvidalam, we don't even hold of that. We say he can never collect not the karka, not the money, because then not muchzakim in either, in any of them. In fact, your mother, my safta, what was the story with the safta, with the grandmother? You know, I already told you the story. Right. So now he's saying the story. I'm telling you this. I told you the story because I knew it from this guy. Now, who? There was this person that said, Nichsei, by Nechasim, Lissafta, is to the Bava from the Maidel, from his daughter, or his mother. Uvasra liyarsai. And my daughter, he says, should inherit the Bava. Yeah. Havile Brata, he had an only daughter. The Havana Sina, and she ended up getting married. Shchiba, she died. Bechaya Bailo Bechaya Safta, in the time when the father and the grandmother was living.
The husband.
No, the daughter died. Bechaya Baila, yeah, the lifetime of the husband and the grandmother. Basa the Shchiba, after she passed away, meaning the Safta, the Baba. Also, Baal, kommt der Baal, ich bin da. I'm the husband of that girl who just died, it's fine. Yeah. Who's the daughter? Yeah. Avuna said, says, Avuna, the Lashon of the Yaseh means Afilu Yaseh. When it says, Yoshe, that when the father said that it should go to the Yarshim, He didn't mean dafka to the Yoshim. Even the Yoshim that come out
Later.
indirectly from the Yoshim, like a husband, also the Yerusha goes to him. No, what are you talking about? Yossi, what Yossi, Yossi? Yoshim means direct. Yoshim has nicht direct, as direct. I mean, but he's not. He's not.
His daughter then.
And that's what
Natsugi coming out. Yeah,
He meant his daughter because she was the only one.
she was the only heir. Yes. Sholchem Mitam says Gemara. They sent from there. The Chacham sent Hayra, the following Hayra Mitam from Eretz Yisrael. Hilchasa Kivasei the Havanan. The halach is like Havanan. That is, he's considered as a tzugi kumana. He doesn't get any of the. He doesn't get the chelik in the Yerusha. V'lav netaimei, and he says the reason why he's considered as a tzugi kumana is not because of what Rav Onan said, that he says when he said Yoshe, he meant only direct Yoshim, not indirect. Direct Yoshim would mean his daughter, his brother, the father's brother, the father's father, but nicht Tzugi Kumina like he said about. So he says not because of that right. And he says the Baal lo V'lav mitaymei. Really, Avana Saba, forward Avana holds that the reason why the husband doesn't get anything, because it says when it says Yoshe, he says it's Kailel. He says, according to if Rav Ona would have held, if Rav Ona holds that it's not included Yoshe Yoshim, even though in a case where the Mitzvah had other Yoshim, if he would have even, if the daughter would have even had a son, according to the Chachmei Eretz Yisrael, which is sort of direct, it's coming from the daughter.
If she had children with him.
Lo Yodesh, he still wouldn't. He's still that son. According to the son would not yashin. Only according to the
Only direct.
indirect. That's what Rav Onan said. Where are you saying? It says the Baal lo Yodesh. Not because. Because he says when it says li Yorsei. Which means liyorshe, it doesn't mean liyorshe yorshe. That doesn't mean the yoshim a secondary yodesh like a husband, right? A daughter or brother, a brother of the father or the father of the father. Oh, but in Eretz Yisrael they learn they don't hold of how Rabbanan learn. They hold yorshe means even direct. If the daughter had a son, the son would not yashin. The son would not inherit. Why? Because it says only Yershe, direct Yershim. And Ben Abbas is not is a Yiddish of the Yiddish. It's a Yiddish of the Yiddish. That's how they learn Yershe, but not a Yiddish of the Yiddish.
Even though he's right. The next one.
Right. No, he's not the next one. The next one would be a brother.
So who gets it now?
If the wife is not here, it goes to the father's brother, the one that made the tzavah. The father's father, father's brother, but not to the Yiddish and a Yiddish of the Yiddish. Those were the original Yershim. The son comes later, so that's a Yiddish of the Yiddish. So Veloihi. Says the Gemara and the Bnei Yisrael say, it's not so. The Ila Havalei Bra Levarte Vade Yoris. But the Bnei Yisrael said for sure he would yashin.
Who the son?
The son would yashin.
If she has a baby, if she has a son.
If she has a son, Baal. What's the reason why the Baal cannot? He said,
the son came into being because of the Baal.
Because of the Baal and the Isha also because of the daughter too. But it's called a Yerush Yerush and
the son has more koyach than the Baal.
Huh?
The son has more koyach than the Baal, that he can yashin it and the Baal can't.
We're not talking about the son. We're talking about there's a daughter.
She had a son.
Yes, so the son cannot. The son of the daughter cannot.
And the husband could?
The husband cannot, for sure not. For sure not. He's saying, and what's the reason why the husband cannot? Not because he's a Yiddish of a Yiddish. He's not even a Yiddish, he says. Ubal, Haino Tav Yiddish, the reason why the husband's not Yiddish, Mishim the Havalei Roi. He is only considered that his wife didn't even get the property because she died before The grandmother died. So it's only Roy. She didn't even have it when she died. She didn't have the property yet because the grandmother was still living.
So if we eliminate the husband, then maybe it goes to the daughter then.
That's according only to one day. According to Ravana, no. Ravana, no, because it's Yeresh. Well, Yeresh, not the Yeresh of the Yeresh.
No, but the daughter's not here anymore. Okay.
Right. So it's called Roy. And the Baal cannot take in something that's Roy. Miklal, according from here we can imply the one that was arguing, meaning Yavuna who was arguing. So the Baal Noitel as Roy that the Baal would be able to Ravuna, I'm sorry. Ravuna was the one that was arguing. He says Noitel Pishnayim. So he says so Baal Noitel Beroy that the husband would take Beroy Kibimosik. In fact, we don't find such a shita. How do we answer that? We know a Baal doesn't take Beroi Kibimosik. Rabbi Rav Huna, who was Rabbi Lezer was saying, he was great, but he called Rav Huna, him the great. He started off to explain his psak. Vani hakotten, Rabbi Lezer says, and me, the cotton, I will finish off to explain the words. He says, yeah. And so he says the Rav Huna was based on Kol one who says to the Mekabel, to the one that comes after Macharecha, meaning after your death, the Chayfetz should go to the next person, like he said to the grandmother. He said to his mother, after you pass away, it should go to somebody else. It should go to my daughter. It's like he gave it to the daughter now. It's like the daughter has it already, so she's a muhzik. So that's why Rav Huna holds that the Baal would be Zeicha, because it was as if she had it already. He's yashing from her because she had it. She was a musik. It's more reasonable to say the reasoning of the Chachmei of Eretz Yisrael that nechosim are not considered as muhzakin, like we explained in Rav Huna. Rather, it's considered ro'ui, because the grandmother was living, and he doesn't hold that since he told he said that the property that I'm giving the grandmother, after your death, it should go to the daughter, it's now considered musik. He doesn't hold of this mother. The daughter, the grandmother has to first die, and then the daughter gets it, then she's a musik. But Kolzman, she's alive, and she died first, she wasn't a musik.
So she lost out.
Right, and why? What's this? What did they argue with that? Because they said the kadam safta v'zabna. What's if the grandmother decides while she's living she's going to sell the property? Zvina, it's a sale.
Because if she was told she has to leave it over first.
If to her death, but if she sold it in her lifetime, it would be a sale, and she was living.
Right?
She had that right.
Yeah, she had
so, but if she would pass away and it would be left in her shoes.
Why would she leave it?
Why not?
This way she gets the money. She has money.
But she's getting it's making payers the whole time. Why not? She needs a seller. People. What she's going to do with the money? It's going to disintegrate like this. She has a parnasa coming in the whole time. So it says if she wants, she could have sold it, and if she would have sold it, she was still living.
You're also saying if she would have sold.
Yeah, but no. What do you mean? So it's not muhzik. If the grandmother was able to sell it, you can't say in her lifetime the daughter is muhzik in that karka if the grandmother could sell it. So how can you call it a muhzik? But if the grandmother has it and she could sell it, so you can't say the daughter has a chazak over it. What do you mean if she had a star? A star would be different, like a star milva we were talking about originally. Yeah, the halacha is a husband cannot take in the property that the wife didn't yet receive when she died, as if she, and later on after she died, it came. He can't take that as if she had it before she died. Another halacha is the ein abachay neitzel beroy, and abachay cannot take the double portion in something that's a roy kibemuchzik. A third halacha ein abachay neitzel pi shnayim b'milva, that a abachay cannot take a double chelik if he has a star milva and it wasn't collected yet. He can't get a double chelik. Bein shagava kaka, whether he collected the kaka after the father died. Bein shagava maiz, whether he collected money. It's not considered as a muhzik if they didn't collect before the father died. Milva she'imay, and a milva that the son
Give it to his
borrowed from the father, and he told the father, okay, he makes sure that the lien should go on the karka because he's the b'cheir, and the father's old, so he wants to make sure, when it comes back to pay back the loan, he'll have a double chelek, so he won't have to pay so much. He said, this is the karka that is connected. So there's a shaila if it's considered
What
muzakim.
did he say? That
The son borrowed money from the father.
So he also
He's a
borrowed
b'cheir, yeah, and he made a shibud on one of his kakois.
his own.
So he wants to say, we're muhzakim, we have the karka already. But if the brothers didn't have the karka, it's not really considered a full muhzak. It's a shaila. If they're considered muhzakim or not. So we take, let's say it's 4 brothers. You take
So you want to say that the brothers are not considered like Muzokim in his car.
the karka, right? So it's not considered as the father was muhzik in the karka, meaning. It's a
The
shaila if the
son's car.
right. We don't know if the father. It's considered as the father had it before he died because the son was holding on to the karka. So what do? We take this karka, we divide it into 5 halakim. There's 4 brothers, but we have to give one of the brothers a double chelik. So what do? We give each one 1, and then the 5th one we divide it in half. It's maman amut b'safik. We don't know if the father is considered as mosig or not. So half will go to the b'cheir of the 5th chelik, and the other half will go between the brothers.
Als hij doet,